Once upon a time, in the grand halls of Buckingham Palace, a king would risk everything, not for war, not for power, but for love. This is the story of Edward VIII and Wallis Simpson, a romance so scandalous it shook the British monarchy to its core. Let's dive in. Before he became king, Edward was the ultimate royal heartthrob. Handsome, rebellious, and wildly popular, he was everything a future king should be, except for one tiny problem. He wasn't interested in duty. He was interested in adventure. Enter Wallis Simpson, an American socialite with a sharp wit, a taste for luxury, and a complicated past. Twice married, twice divorced, and now the center of attention in high society London. As their relationship deepened, the British government grew uneasy. A king dating a twice divorced American? That was unheard of. The royal family was in shock. The press whispered, and the Prime Minister panicked. But Edward was smitten. He saw Wallis as his queen. December 11th, 1936. Edward VIII makes history. I have found it impossible to carry the heavy burden of responsibility without the help and support of the woman I love, he declares. With that, he walks away from the throne. No longer king, Edward became the Duke of Windsor. He and Wallis married in 1937, but their life wasn't exactly a fairy tale. The royal family shunned them, and their every move was scrutinized. But through it all, Edward never regretted his choice. Here's where things get even messier. Edward and Wallis were accused of having Nazi sympathies. A shocking photo of them meeting Hitler in 1937 sent the world into an uproar. The British government panicked again, and Edward was sent far away. To the Bahamas. Despite the scandals, the exile, and the world's judgment, Edward and Wallis stayed together for the rest of their lives. They lived in France, hosted extravagant parties, and remained inseparable. Love, it seems, had won. Edward VIII gave up the most powerful throne in the world for love. Was it foolish? Was it romantic? Or was it simply destiny? Whatever the answer, their story remains one of the most scandalous yet legendary love affairs in royal history.